Good evening. It's Wednesday the 16th of November and it's time for the news on RIK2. President Anastasiadis today briefed Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras on Cyprus issue developments, focusing on the results of the first round of the Montpellier talks in Switzerland and the state of play in light of the second round that starts on Sunday at the same venue and aims towards reaching agreement on the criteria of territorial adjustments. The President travelled to Athens at noon, accompanied by Foreign Minister Ioannis Kassoulidis and Government spokesman Nikos Christodoulidis. Greek Foreign Minister Nikos Kotsas, who has been very outspoken on the need to do away with foreign guarantees in Cyprus, was also present at the meeting. Anastasiadis later met President of the Greek Republic, Prokopis Pavlopoulos, and the leader of the main opposition New Democracy Party, Kyriakos Mitsotakis. The President will brief the leaders of all parliamentary parties tomorrow, and back in Nicosia he will brief political parties separately on Friday and Saturday prior to his departure for Switzerland. Earlier in the day, Deputy Government spokesman Victoras Papadopoulos had said there would be an exchange of views between President Anastasiadis and the Greek Prime Minister on the second round of negotiations at Montpellier. Commenting on the Turkish positions on maintaining guarantees and adopting an alternate presidency for the new federal state, Papadopoulos noted that President Anastasiadis' positions on the issue are clear and steadfast. It is unproductive, he added, to negotiate publicly through announcements, adding that what matters are developments at the negotiating table. Judgment can be passed with final results. Turkish Cypriot leader Mustafa Akinci, commenting on the second round of Montpellier negotiations, said it was the time of territory security and guarantees, adding that Turkish Cypriots needed Turkey as a deterrent. Akinci reiterated the impossibility of doing away with guarantees, noting that this system can be adapted to current conditions. He said he was travelling to Switzerland with the will and determination to continue negotiations, adding that if agreement is reached on territory criteria, each side will submit a map, while a date will be set for the holding of a five-party conference. The Turkish Cypriot leader suggested holding this conference a few weeks later on the Bergenstock format, with the aim of concluding discussion on maps, security and guarantees with the participation of guarantor powers. Akinci further added that a settlement is impossible without an alternate presidency, calling on the Greek Cypriot side to prepare itself. In response to the Akinci proposal on a Bergenstock-like five-party conference, government spokesman Nikos Christodoulidis said that President Anastasiadis was very clear on how the process would go ahead, particularly concerning the multi-party conference format. Christodoulidis made clear that the Greek Cypriot side would not be taking part in such a conference just for the sake of it. What's of importance, he added, is to have sufficient progress that will justify this conference, because if it should fail, it would pose serious risks for the process as a whole. The Greek Cypriot side, Christodoulidis said, aims at protecting the ongoing process. US President Barack Obama toured Greece's most famous ancient monument, the Acropolis Citadel, as he winds up the first leg of his final foreign tour as president and heads from Greece to Germany. Obama entered the complex through the Propylaea, the monumental gateway that serves as an entrance to the site, and walked along the Parthenon Temple, which was dedicated to the goddess Athena, considered the patron god of the city of Athens. The US president lingered at the base of the Parthenon, gazing up at the columns and glancing around at the panoramic view of Athens as he chatted with his guide, Eleni Banou, of the Cultural Ministry's Antiquities Division. The 5th century BC Parthenon Temple is surrounded these days by scaffolding as part of maintenance works. The entire site was closed to the public for the day of Obama's visit, which has taken place amid draconian security measures. Greece has pinned its hopes on Obama persuading some of the financially stricken country's more reluctant international creditors to grant debt relief, as well as pressuring other European countries to share more of the burden of the continent's refugee crisis. Later in the day, President Obama extolled the strengths of democracy from its Greek birthplace in a valedictory speech aimed at highlighting the values he sought to respect in office and prodding his Republican successor Donald Trump to follow suit. Obama portrayed the United States as an example of democracies prizing the peaceful transfer of power, even when ideas between the incoming and outgoing leaders are opposed. Airstrikes hit near a children's hospital and a school in rebel-held eastern Aleppo in the second day of renewed bombing that has killed at least 20 people. The airstrikes are part of a wider escalation by the Syrian government and its allies, including Russia, which launched coordinated missile strikes against rebels in Syria yesterday and for the first time used its only aircraft carrier, Admiral Kuznetsov. Moscow has denied reports that its jets hit the city in a renewed wave of bombardment. It says it is sticking to a moratorium on strikes in Aleppo. Yesterday's bombing on eastern Aleppo appeared to mark the end of a pause inside the city declared by Russia on October the 18th. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights and Residents said the city's east was hit by rocket strikes by jets, barrel bombs dropped from helicopters and artillery fired by government forces. Now a look at the weather. Clear skies tomorrow initially, turning increasingly overcast in eastern coastal regions.